Hello and a very warm welcome to the 17th FINA World Junior Championships in Artistic Swimming from Quebec City and the University of Laval. It's the second time Canada have hosted this event, the last occasion in Montreal in 2002. 20 years later, and the people of this beautiful and historic city have made us feel very welcome indeed. 26 nations are participating over the next 5 days, and the stage is set for an exciting and friendly championship, a festival to celebrate the future and indeed current stars of our sport. Well, I'm delighted to say that double Olympian Jacqueline Simoneau is with me in the commentary area. Jackie, you've medalled in 2 Junior World Championships before. How special is it for you that Canada are hosting this event, particularly after the delays that we've had over the last couple of years?
It's incredibly special to be able to finally reunite everybody from around the world, people who are so passionate about the sport. You could just feel the energy and the excitement in the stadium this morning. Absolutely, I totally agree with you. And our congratulations have to go to all of the technical committee, the organising committee of Canada Artistic Swimming for the amazing job that they have done leading up to this event. But before we start with the very first final at this Junior World Championships, we have a short video to show you. Going to be focusing on the solo technical final for women, followed by the solo technical for men. Each of the routines is a straight final. Each of the routines is around about 2 minutes long, and they're going to be judged by 3 panels of judges looking at the elements, which is very important, the 5 elements, this technical routine, the execution, and the overall impression. Their best today. I guess they will have visualized the performance quite a lot in their mind and been through this so many times leading up to it. Is that something that you used to do? Definitely. The evening before a competition, the morning before a competition, that's when you get those final visualizations in, visualizing that perfect routine in your mind. Did you sleep the night before? For competitions that I was excited? No. That's when that piece of chocolate came in handy. Yes, you're renowned for your eating chocolate. I've heard lots of stories about you and your chocolate. So, yeah, more of that while I'm here, please, as we welcome the athletes that are going to be participating in the solo technical today. It's not necessarily the actual athlete. Sometimes they send a substitute out because they're busy focusing in the call room. But we're going to be starting with France, then Canada, then Slovakia. Spain will be forced to go.
Peru, really good to see them competing here at this Junior World Championships. Mexico getting plenty of support from the crowd. Italy, Austria 8th. Egypt, they've all been working so hard as we lead up to this. Greece, Kazakhstan, they're going 11th. Korea, Indonesia, Finland going 14th. Japan has to be one of the favourites here, probably, having done so well at the Youth Championships last week. El Salvador, then Switzerland, and now we're getting towards the last couple. Germany, penultimate, and last, but Great Britain will be the final one. So, as we said, there's 3 panels of judges who are sitting either side of the pool, as you can see. They will have only found out this morning that they are actually judging. They leave it till the morning before they let them know which events that they are going to be doing. So this is very, well, Lisa Schott from the Technical Commission. So many people working so hard to pull all this together, aren't they, Jackie?
They really are. It takes a whole village.
It does, doesn't it? There was a welcome reception last night, and they were able to let their hair down just literally for an hour, but now it's absolutely back to business. And it's a beautiful setting, this university. You were telling me that the World Cup was here in 2014.
Exactly. So they're known now here to host big events such as the Canadian Open or World Cups, and they have quite a bit of experience now.
But they are fabulous, the facilities, not only the pool area, but also the whole complex is just extraordinary.
It truly is.
So this is the judges being introduced. As we mentioned before, there's an elements panel, an impressions panel, and an execution. So talk us through the elements panel and how they judge the 5 required elements we're going to be seeing.
So in the elements, we have a panel, as you mentioned, only looking at the elements here. And so you want to be able to show your best, not only in execution, but in height, the evenness, and each element is associated with a degree of difficulty as well. So you want to make sure you show your best in every single one of those elements.
Yes, because the rest of it doesn't have an assigned degree of difficulty yet, does it? But the required elements do. But that's probably coming in the future, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's excited news coming up for perhaps the next coming season.
And we'll talk a bit more about that as we get through the competition. So much support for all of these athletes. And of course, in the required elements, it is actually possible to score a 0 for that particular element, isn't it? So how much will that play on people's minds as we look at the start list?
It will definitely play a toll in the athlete's mind. That's something that you never want to maybe toe upon, and so the athletes will have to be very careful not to get any penalties. The one that we might be looking for in this meet is the last element here, making sure that everybody hits that ankle mark.
Not easy.
No.
Especially as it's at the end. As we introduce the first competitor, Oriane Jalardon from France. The theme is madness. Music, a cappella, and cadence from Travis Lake.
Lovely first element here. Saw some nice flexibility and height. We'll see how that translates into the score soon. Coming into the second element here. Good flexibility in the split. Beautiful height before the spin down here. Clear ankle, wonderful element. And coming into element number 3 here. Good positions. Lovely. Great energy coming into perhaps the next element here. Very nice, clear 2 spins. And wonderful. Good last push. And the final element here. Good speed. Excellent, wonderful performance here from Oriane. Love the creativity in between.
It was a great way to start, wasn't it? It's never easy going first in a competition. I think all artistic swimmers don't want to be drawn first. I don't know if that's how you found it as well, but most do.
Definitely, but I think Oriane did a fantastic job opening up the show today.
She really did, didn't she? You mentioned about explosive power, and that really came through for me. She had so much height, didn't she?
She truly did. That really came through in her extra figures as well.
Yes, there was a lot of difficulty over and above the required elements. And the height that she gets here, I felt she maybe dropped a little bit quickly on the beginning of the button, being really ultra critical and probably a bit mean. Just, it would have been good to have seen the spin a little bit at the top.
I agree, you do want to see those even spaces in that drop there, and that could be a little area of improvement, but overall fantastic height in the routine.
And the difficulty is more on the coming up, isn't it? And she actually did that really well. So, the scores will shortly be up on your screen. There'll be 3 different scores and a total score. Remember, it's a straight final here. In the technical, in the free routines, we do preliminaries. And this will very much have set the bar pretty high, I would imagine, for everybody else to know what they've got to do.
I would imagine so, yes.
Keeping her waiting for quite a long time. And you know, sometimes that can be because they are analysing the video as well on the required elements, can't it? Hopefully not in this case.
Hopefully not in this case, but oftentimes judges do take advantage of the technology that we have here to make sure that all the elements have been well executed.
See some of the judges in their blue shirts sitting up in the seats as well. They're sort of practicing on the new judging system that will be coming in, hopefully, if it's ratified, for next year. So always something to do for judges, even if they're not actually on the panel. She left the stage a little bit too early, 84.3904. That's a really good score for her, and is ahead of what she got at the Senior World Championships earlier this year. You can see the scores split between execution, impression and elements. Because it's a technical vertical program, elements count for 40% of the overall score. The other two are 30%. But a great start. You set that bar, as I say, very, very high indeed. This is going to be really interesting. Audrey Lamotte. Her performance is To Cry Me a River. She was very, very close to Oriane Géladon in the World Championship. She's another one that competes as a senior as well as a junior. So a real competition between these two to start.
Definitely be interesting to see both of them perform. Coming into the first element here. Nice three positions, vertical split and that final vertical. And coming in already to that second element. Good height and good split here. Nice even spaces in that drop. And beautiful third element here, nice start. You can see she's a nice flexible athlete too, always extended in her positions. Nice difficulty here coming into that nice combined spin element. And we're looking for that nice last vertical. Well done. Final element here. Excellent. Nice and clear ankle height. Good thrust height.
Well, the coaches and the crowd really appreciated that performance. What a moment for her as well, swimming in front of the home crowd. So the score to beat, 83.839. I think it's going to be really close. As I say, they were at the World Championships. They've both had a very, very busy year competing. Very hard. I wouldn't like to be a judge, actually.
No, it is a difficult seat. But they're well trained for it. They know what to look for.
They certainly are. You mentioned the levels on the leg, and I agree. I thought they were really strong. Mm-hmm. And her posture was beautiful as well. Right from the first time we saw her, with her shoulders out of the water, she really expresses well. Karen Dorr, Yin Li Hu, the coaches, and Karen Dorr did the choreography as well. .546. So that puts her second at the moment, behind Oriane Géladon. But again, really good score for her, improving on what she got from the World Championships in Budapest back in July. What a moment for Chiara Dickey from Slovakia. took part in the European Junior Championships earlier this year. Her theme is love. Music, Rhiannon, Love on the Brain.
Beautiful height here on that first element. Nice powerful start here for Kiara. Good evenness on the down on the split. Beautiful, nice straight spin there. Added difficulty at the end too. The judges to notice that, the difficulty score. To the third element here. Excellent, nice clear positions. Well, she's a very expressive swimmer and it comes through in her choreography beautifully. Into this combined spin element here, looking for the vertical. Well done, good finish. Last element here, good first vertical, nice speed on the spin.
Very nice indeed. I agree with you, I thought it was very expressive. Do you prefer to swim to music that's vocals or not? Because some do, some don't.
I think it truly depends on your connection with the music. Here you could tell Kiara truly loved the music, and that really came through in the performance, and I think that's something that really helps, especially with the artistic component of the routine.
And a lot of these juniors, as we've mentioned a couple of times, are competing in senior competitions as well. You know, she finished 16th at the World Championships for seniors. The required elements are a bit different. How confusing is that for the athlete?
It's quite confusing, to be honest, because some of the senior elements here are longer than the juniors, so they have to modify their choreography. So for a veteran like Kiara, who's been competing on both scenes, she has to constantly change that routine.
Yeah, it can't be easy at all to remember as well. I'd be really nervous about that. So a score of 77.9198 puts Kiara Dickey in third place at the moment. Again, though, it's an improvement on the scores that she had at the European Junior Championships and at the World Championships. And that's what we're keen to see, isn't it? Continuous improvement. Soloist from Spain, Marina Garcia Polo, silver medalist from the European Junior Championships. And she's going to express the pros and cons of being in love.
Beautiful, energetic start there. Wonderful height. strong first element here. Could have seen the first vertical a little bit more clear, but wonderful height overall. Coming into the second, oh, nice modification here. You can see she needs to add difficulty in front of her elements here. Gorgeous split. A little bit wobbly on the spin here, but nice even spaces on the drop. Third element here. Good height on that crane position. You can tell there's energy coming through her legs in all of these elements. Combined spin element here. Well done on the last vertical. Could have gone completely under there at the end. Last element here, good height, maybe started to turn a little bit too soon, so lost the line. You may see a little bit of a deduction in the score there for the elements, but overall, fantastic swim here from Spain.
Yeah, that was a real shame at the end, wasn't it? Compared to some of the others that we've seen so far. She just didn't have that body alignment. I'm amazed that she managed to control it. I felt she just went over 3/4, so didn't quite get the 360, but hopefully it will be enough. The standard is so high that we're seeing today, isn't it?
It truly is. We're seeing everybody bringing their best at the pool today.
She did a lot of double arms as well, which really helps with the difficulty of the impression as well, doesn't it?
It really does. And in those double arms, they were also very expressive. Her arms were fitting to the music wonderfully.
I do love the split cam shots that we see, where you actually see the hard work going on underneath the water, which is incredible, combined with the grace and the energy that they show above the water. Coached by Paula Klamberg. She wanted to show her strength and the confidence with that music, and I think that really came through. Wants to be in the national senior team. That's what she'll be aiming for, and I have no doubt at all that she will make that. 84.884 was her score at the Junior Europeans. That was in Alicante at the end of July, I think it was. Recently, anyway. 84.0028, so that puts her in second place at the moment, behind Oriane Girardon of France. Great swim. Such a special moment for Ariana Coronado from Peru, one of the nations we haven't seen quite as much in artistic swimming. And fantastic to see them here. I was watching her practice yesterday. It's to I Have Nothing by Whitney Houston. She obviously loves this music. First time she swum this in a competition.
You could see the underwater here, how hard her arms are working for her to get up in the air, and she's achieving that wonderful height there. Wow, first element already after all that difficult figure. You might see that come through in the difficulty score there. second element here. Nice split. Could have perhaps made the heels a little bit clearer at the end there, but overall strong element for Ariana. The third element here. We're looking at that line for the top leg here, and she came a little bit on her face, but saved it in the end with a beautiful flexibility. Adding all that difficulty in front of these elements, especially this combined spin here, which is one of the most difficult. There we are with a beautiful finish. Maybe could have had those feet together at the very end, but wonderful height to end. Coming into the fifth element here, and nicely done, beautiful line. Excellent swim from Ariana here.
I should think her coach is breathing a sigh of relief on that last element, because it was really good, wasn't it? And it's when you're at your most tired that you have to get the height and get the control as well, which is always so difficult. Obviously, the required elements have an assigned degree difficulty for them, but the execution in between, so everything apart from the required elements, is really important as well for the execution panel, isn't it?
It definitely is. That does play a huge role in that score. And you want to show your best difficulty, but you want to execute it at well as a high level, because you don't want to take too much of a risk that you don't execute it properly.
Yes, really good point. Yes. I thought the music choice, she obviously loves Whitney Houston. It's a very powerful piece of music, and I worried when I first heard it that maybe she wouldn't be able to interpret it, but she did it beautifully.
She really did. Her arms, you could tell her facial expression. She truly loved the music, and that came through here very well.
She does say that she connects with the song. So that was a premiere of that solo, so no past results or anything like that to compare with. So this is a starting point for her. So it's bound to be a new personal best, isn't it?
Yes, it's bound to be.
Standing in what we call the kiss and cry area with her two coaches. Maura Happier, she was the technical director for Brazil at the Olympic Games in Rio. Very, very experienced, so she's in very capable hands, joined with Lisa Palomino. So I'm not sure if there's a technical review going on. I haven't missed the scores, have I? They haven't come up yet.
No, they haven't. I believe there might be an element that may under technical review, and this is when you want to see if the heels have cleared before going underwater here, which may have been one of the elements in question.
Yep. So if one of the judges gives us a 0, they have to have a technical review. If it's considered that she did do the element okay, then they take an average from the other judges. If it's deemed that she didn't do it okay, then anyone that did give a score is reduced to 0. That's right, isn't it?
Correct, yes. So it's really, it's all or nothing in this case.
It is, isn't it? I'm glad it wasn't around in my day when I competed. Mind you, we had figure competitions. That was dreadful too.
But you do really get the technical aspect in that case, and it really shows the difficulty in the sport there.
Yeah. But it's good that the World Youth Championships, they do have figures still, don't they? The compulsory figures.
It really is, because it is the base of our sport after all. You need to have a good technical base to be able to perform technical routines later on at a higher level.
Yeah. So when you were competing, and I'm sorry I'm throwing so many questions at you, Jackie, but I'm absolutely fascinated and loving having you next to me. Would you sit and watch any of the other competitors, or did you stay out at the back and eat chocolate?
I would eat my chocolate while watching the other competitors.
Would you?
I would,
so you do
yeah.
Watch.
It would fuel me. I mean, you can see in this competition, everybody brings different strengths, whether that's height, or flexibility, and something that may help some athletes is looking at them and their strengths and say, you know what, I'm going to strive to achieve that and still show my best in the strength. So that's something that I love to do, and I'm sure some athletes here would love as well to watch the others.
I'm really surprised by that reply. I thought you would say no or stay out of the way. But I love the fact you're fueling yourself with chocolate and you're fueling your passion as well by watching the others.
And it's a way you could learn too. Having a session with the athletes yesterday evening, athletes are interchanging between each other and asking each other, noticing how people spin perhaps in different directions or use different techniques. And this is how you learn and how you grow as an athlete, is by interacting with our other athletes, watching.
Very wise words from a silver and bronze medalist from the World Junior Championships. Double Olympian, obviously, we mentioned that earlier. And now really sort of helping to spread the word about how amazing this sport is, and helping some of the other nations to develop it further, which I think is fantastic. So this is taking quite a long time, and this is absolutely what coaches and athletes don't want, but it's very, very important that when the referee makes a decision, that it is the right decision for the athlete. So hopefully we will be able to see whether there is a 0 in the score as well. Very much hope there isn't. But you know, even if there is, there's that opportunity to learn from it all the time, isn't there?
Exactly, especially this being her first time competing this solo, it's all right to make mistakes. It's a time to learn from those mistakes. And when you compete in further competitions, you know exactly what you can do better.
And we've all made mistakes in the past when we've competed or when we've coached or however we've been involved with the sport. You know, you're absolutely right. It's how you learn from it and how you grow into a stronger athlete off the back of it and cope with the disappointment.
Exactly. That's a huge part in the sport and in life, in that too.
Okay, so her score. Oh, that's actually for Marina Garcia Polo, so that's not her score. I was about to say 84 and I thought, no, it's definitely not. So those are the incorrect scores on your screen. And obviously, Ariana Coronado in her premiere would not be expecting scores like that. So hopefully the scores will be corrected as soon as possible. If they were her scores, that would have been amazing.
That would have been amazing. But she could definitely achieve those in the future. I mean, work on those spins, that control in the elements, and I think anything is possible for Marcia.
Definitely.
For Ariane.
Here we go. So looking at it, it looks like the third element she got 0 score. So that's the one that they had a look at. So that gives her a score of 61.3895. I'm sure the coaches will be looking at it afterwards on video just to see how she can learn from it. Gosh, plenty of support from Mexico. Sofia Valenzuela Torres, 18 years of age, so one of the older competitors here in this junior event. The theme again is love.
Beautiful first start there, clear 3 positions. Wow, look at that difficulty off-angle spin there. See that power coming through in those arms. Second element here. Nice and even down, nice and even up. Now we're looking for that heel. Could have been a little bit clearer at the end there, but it may pass. There is a little bit of a grace period, but we'll see what the judges have to say about that. support from her teammates there, powering through her performance. Look at that beautiful element here. Good crane position. Coming into the combined spin here, a little bit of a pause at the ankle. Nice finish though. Gearing up for the fifth element here in the final one. You could hear her teammates just cheering her on at the end there. It was wonderful.
There was so much grace, wasn't there? She was very, very expressive in her body moves as well, which really came across for me on that one. So that helps towards the overall impression of the routine, doesn't it?
It definitely does, and Mexico is certainly known for being very expressive in the routines.
Look at the posture, which is very, very high. And different levels on the arms as well, wasn't there? She certainly put everything into that performance. You mentioned the pause at the ankle. Ideally, then they should completely just carry on with no stop.
Yes.
And she paused to move her arm position probably.
Exactly. It's a difficult element because you're going down against and then have to go up against gravity, and you do need to change that pressure in your arms. And so ideally that's something she could work on in the future.
Coached by Olga Asieva. Elizabeth Cervantes doing the choreography. Wonderful choreography it was too. 81.5581 is her total score. Good on the elements. That puts her in fourth place at the moment. And we're about a third of the way through the competition.
Off to a fantastic start.
Yes, really, yeah. It's hard to believe that they're actually still juniors.
It really is, because they're such at a high level already.
And this will continue with Susanna Pedotti from Italy. Took the bronze medal at the European Junior Championships, just 0.6 off silver. And that went to the Spanish swimmer. So she will be looking to get her score more than 84.002, I think will be her aim.
Starting in the water here, it's not often that you have swimmers that start in the water. Already off with the first element here, well done. Got that suspense building for that beautiful barracuda with that nice height. Second element here. We'll have a little bit more of an even down. Very nice spin, good straight lines, even drop. Her legs are very expressive in all these transitions, and that will definitely play a note in the impression note here. Third element again here, a little bit of a slowdown in the split and sped up at the end. We're looking for uniform speed here in these elements, but overall great positions. Very difficult start into this combined spin here. A little bit of a pause, but very clear ankle height. Excellent height to finish that vertical. Fifth and final element here, very clear ankle position. Shouldn't need for a technical review there on that. Wonderfully done.
She's a fabulous swimmer to watch. Italy have just hosted the European Championships for seniors, and they had what we call pre-swimmers before each of the competitions. So the Italian junior team were the pre-swimmers. So I had the wonderful opportunity to see all of their routines before actually coming here, and that was a great dress rehearsal for them, I think, to actually swim in front of a panel of judges and get scores as well. I'd be interested on the split walkout. Some go from the split and then they go very smoothly across. Others almost stop halfway and then go down. What's your view on it?
The consensus that I've seemed to get from a good amount of judges is that you want a uniform closing. Yes, you do want to see what's called a night position in the middle when that leg stops in the vertical position, but you don't want to have a pause. So I think here it maybe was a little bit too fast, but the positions were still clear. Definitely,
I agree. Really great interpretation too. It's a man's world by Seal. .293 was her score at the European Junior Championships. .2942. That is an incredible score. That's taken her right up to first place and really well deserved. Very impressive indeed. All of that being a pre-swimmer paid off, didn't it?
It truly did. You could hear her teammates in the background ecstatic for her.
So we welcome the Austrian Valentino Strasberger onto the stage, swimming 8th. Very keen to see this choreography because it's actually by Vasiliki Alexandri, who took a bronze medal at Europeans recently. So I think it will be unusual choreography. The theme is heartbreak.
Very expressive facial expression there, pulling those judges in. Nice difficulty coming into the first element here. Body a little bit forward in that split position, but overall great height. Fantastic height here, starting into that second element. Heels could have been a little bit clearer at the end, but overall, nice even spin. Third element here. Nice ballet leg position. Looking for this infamous walkout. Could have seen the night position there a little bit clearer. Combined spin here, excellent clear heels, and a wonderful finish here. Continuously being very expressive. Fifth element, and what a wonderful save. Now, the body position wasn't fully straight, but finished it nicely.
She had beautiful use of the music and the water as well to go with it. I thought that really shone through. I love the way she used the water to create effect.
And it truly flowed through the routine.
And her extension of feet was really special as well.
It was.
I mean, she is quite experienced. She's been swimming for about 11 years now. And great to see her competing at this World Junior Championships. Coached by Jelika Vazic, who's coached for many, many years. So like a lot of these juniors, in very capable hands indeed. But she wanted to express emotion in that performance, and I think that came across.
Definitely came through, whether it be in the facial expression or the way she swam her arms. I think she definitely pulled the judges in.
And that's so important, isn't it? You know, they are swimming for the audience, but they're really swimming for the judges, so that being able to portray well and draw the judges in is so, so important. Thirteenth at the European Junior Championships, 76.2251 is her score. And that's 7th place at the moment. A little bit down on the elements compared with some, but really getting great execution and getting really good experience being here.
Truly.
To swim, we have Mariam Maghrabi from Egypt. Music, The Devil Violinist. It's a favourite of her grandma's, apparently, who loves the movie. So this means a lot to her.
Starting off with that first element nice and strong. To start the second element here, 180 on the split. Good spin, could be a little bit clear on the heels. Oh, you can tell she just loves to swim. Third element, good extension. A little bit choppy on the down, but overall fantastic extension for the element once again. Great musicality here coming into the combined spin. Excellent, well done. And oof, all right, not the straightest line to begin with, but I think she did a good job on saving it.
Yes, I agree with you. She did really well to save that. So much support from everyone, and I have to say I do agree with her grandma. What a stunning, beautiful piece of music that is.
It truly is, and you can tell while she was swimming that she loved that piece of music.
Yeah, you mentioned the musicality, which helps with the overall impression of the routine, and she was swimming that for her grandma, wasn't she? Which is so nice. One of the hybrids had some some off vertical work at angles. In fact, we're just seeing it here. You have to be very good to be able to do that, because the clarity needs to be obvious to the judges that you mean to be off angle. I wasn't sure if there was enough clarity, personally, on that one.
Precisely, I'd have to agree with you on that one, because you have to show that you're in control and that it's very obvious. And in this case, it could have been exaggerated a little bit more of those off angles to be very clear for those judges.
Yep, but it's not a required element, so it doesn't count for as much. But still important.
Yes, indeed.
So still waiting for the scores to come through. They're in fine voice. They're not going to have any voice left by the end of the week. She was actually the youngest artistic swimmer at the Tokyo Olympic Games because she was in the team. So she's very proud of that fact, and so she should be. That's quite an achievement, isn't it?
It is quite the accomplishment and experience as well. Hopefully it's the first of many Olympic Games for her.
Yeah. I wonder if the delay for a year meant she could swim, because obviously there's a minimum age of 15, isn't there?
That is true.
So it may have brought her into the team and worked in her favour that it was delayed.
It might have.
Yes.
It's always great when you have young swimmers on the team like that, because you can learn from the veterans, and then once you get into that position yourselves, you have so much experience in your baggage that you could share with the next generation.
Absolutely. So again, a bit of a delay here, I think, while they're looking at the video. Coached by Hadir Al-Hazami. She will be nervous at this point. I always feel for the coaches, because there's nothing they can do. They just have to stand there and watch. The hard work's been done, and I think it's the worst thing, just stand there and watch.
It truly is when it's out of your control.
So a great score for her, 75.908. So no deductions, no zeros, so that's great to see. That puts her in 8th place at the moment. Sorry, Karangiro from Greece. Her theme is the tree. You don't have to have a theme, but sometimes it helps with the choreography, the impression. Beautiful costume to portray that theme, isn't it?
It really is. And deck work position as well, very creative. Wow. Excellent spin after that Barracuda there. It's a very difficult move to do. Another off-angle spin here. Starting up with a high degree of difficulty. Going into that first element. Beautiful height. She should see some nice scores come through with that. Going into the spin here, nice heels. Good line on the third element. A little bit of a pause in the night. Nice fluid combined spin here. choppy, but very clear heels at the end there.
For overall impression, that was one of my favourites. The required elements, perhaps not quite there, still very good, but not quite there. I love the interpretation to the music, the way she was using the words to portray the story, and her arms.
They were fabulous.
They really were. I want arms like hers. I thought it was enchanting, the whole performance. This here. Just incredible the way she was telling the story. She's been a soloist since 2019, but of course not so many competitions since then. But she did compete at the Coleman Cup. She finished 5th at the European Junior Championships, so has had a lot of experience this year. Coached by Anastasia Gutseva and Barbara Ifadiotti back in Greece. 82.9556, putting her in 5th place at the moment. But it wouldn't surprise me if that is a personal best. It was more than she got at the Junior Europeans, so really good job from her. Again, very impressive scores on the impression. One to watch, I think, for sure.
Definitely. Especially in free solo, if that's the case as well, being so expressive.
Yes. So next up, 11th to swim from Kazakhstan, Karina Magrapova. Music, Hannah's eyes.
Beautiful height on that Barracuda. Excellent split position. Could have seen the vertical a little bit more, but fantastic job. Nice and flexible swimmer here. Beautiful in the split. Well done. Barracudas must definitely be her strength here, showing that height and power. Showing again her flexibility in that split. Into the 4th element here, the combined spin. Off to a beautiful start and lovely finish. Very expressive in her arms, and I think that might come through in the impression score here. 5th element, nice pause in the vertical, clear ending.
She's improving every time I watch her. I was very impressed with the elements then.
They were very well executed.
Yeah, really good body alignment. And it was very engaging performance. The expression on her face to help with the overall impression of it was beautiful. I noticed, coming back to your former point, that she didn't stop on the combined spin. She carried on straight through. which is much harder, isn't it? So hopefully that's recognised by the judges. I'm sure it is.
Yes, we'll keep an eye out to see if that's reflected in the scores.
It better be, otherwise I'll have words. Not really. They know what they're doing far more than I do. But her body alignment I thought was very good as well. So she did win the Asian Championships back in 2019, so she's used to being on the podium. 13th at the World Championships this year. Her score then was 80. So I'm really interested to see, because I don't want to set myself up for a fall here, but I thought it was very good.
I agree with you here.
Oh, well, at least she better did anyway. 80.2176. Always moving forward. 7th place at the moment. Slightly down on some of the elements compared with the others. Do you think that's because of a bit of height? Because her body alignment was there.
It might be for some height. It also might be because of stability too in some elements. You want to really demonstrate full control.
12th to swim out of the 19 that we have in the solo technical final. This is Sihi Yang from the Republic of Korea. 18 years of age. Music by Madonna.
First element here. You saw the head pop out here, and essentially you want to try and keep that under as much as possible, but the overall above the surface is phenomenal. Good height coming into the second element. Beautiful slit flexibility. A little bit of hesitation before starting the spin here, but good finish. That expression coming through in her arms here. Third element, a little bit fast to come through to the crane. Overall, good control at the end. It's almost as if she's storytelling in this technical routine. Yes, there is elements, but it looks like there's a storyline to this. Beginning of the combined spin element here. A little bit of choppiness. Overall, good finish. The fifth element here, we might need a technical review on that because we did only see the heels at the 3/4 mark here, but we did see her first vertical.
That was such a shame right at the end, and I agree. I think we probably will see a technical review because she really only got 180 in, didn't she? And it should be the 360.
Yes.
Let's wait and see what the judges make of it. Very, very graceful. And that was a nice spin. She will have, I'm sure, learnt an awful lot from the World Championships back in 2019. In Gwangju, which you competed in, didn't you?
Yes, exactly.
Yes. So that was held in the Republic of Korea. They're very good at hosting events as well. That was fabulous, wasn't it? So great opportunity for all of the youngsters to actually see the very best, like Jacqueline Simoneau, actually competing.
Oh, I thank you. It's always great to perform in front of crowds that are so passionate about the sport as well. I remember seeing athletes from Korea there and taking pictures, even asking questions, and I'm sure she was one of them, the many who was sitting in the crowd there.
Yep, and here she is now competing at a Junior World Championships herself. She's had this choreography for quite a long time. It's been a couple of years now. And yes, she's been doing artistic swimming for 6 years, so she definitely, I think, would have been in Gwangju. I'd be surprised if she wasn't. So let's wait and see. 70.4273, and it is indeed zeros, I'm afraid, for the very last element. It had to be, really. And as we said before, all of these athletes will learn from it. She will have known immediately that it hadn't quite gone right. She would have probably dreamt about that for weeks leading up to this event. Well, I would if I was doing it.
I would too.
Now, great to welcome Indonesia, Nabila Kaonisi. The theme is passion. You'd recognise the music from Meat Loaf.
First element here, good split position. Could watch that body alignment. Coming into the second element here, a little bit too rapid coming up and down here. But overall, good control, showing that nice heel before going under. Therefore, there'll be no question whether we need a review. The theme is passion. You can tell that she's passionate about swimming in this routine here. Third element, a little bit over on her face in the sailboat position. She does like to speed through her elements a little bit here. Something she could show maybe a little bit more control, but she is very energetic when she swims. Wow, look at that difficulty of the spin even before the combine. Into the fifth element, and I think we may be clear here. Clear first vertical.
What always surprises me when it comes to the degree difficulty is that last element that's right at the very end is the easiest,
yes,
according to the degree difficulty. And actually, looking at it, the one that I would put as the easiest is the hardest, which is the stingray move, which is the third one. To me, that doesn't make sense, but hey.
This is something that I've always thought of as a swimmer, and it really makes you question sometimes the degree of difficulty.
So you said that she really showed passion for this music, and she really does, because she feels the words, as she would go through heaven and hell to do what she loves most, which is artistic swimming. And she wants her sport to be a safe and fun learning space in her region, so that athletes can learn many values and skills for a happy life, which is very endearing, isn't it? And just shows that the thought that's gone behind that piece of music.
It really does, yes. I mean, you saw the passion that came through here, and a sport like artistic swimming, you want to be able to share that passion with everybody from your country.
Congratulations to the coach, Rosa Palmastiti. 66.2603. That's 12th at the moment, but successfully through all of the required elements, which is a big achievement in itself. 12th place at the moment.
Already starting by a commanding presence on deck here.
Music for Pinchikeki from Finland, Viking March.
Strong first element height. See the first vertical a little bit more. You want to see ideally 3 positions in that first element. Coming into the second element here. A little bit choppy on the up and down. A powerful piece of music here. Third element, highest degree of difficulty. Could show a little bit more control when it comes down into that split position. Combined spin here, losing a little bit of the line here. Ideally, you want to see a vertical position throughout the combined spin. And here we had a little bit of a deviation, but she still had fantastic height. Fifth element. I think that we might be in clear. Could need the vertical line a little bit more. Her expression is certainly matching the music here.
That was very powerful, wasn't it? And the choice of music. When she first walked out, she really stared at the judges, didn't she?
She truly, she did. She commanded their presence.
She did. She did. And I like that. You know, it's like, okay, I'm here. Now you really need to look at me. Not that they wouldn't have been anyway. You talked a few times about being choppy. How's the best way to improve on that?
It comes with a great deal of control, and to be able to do that, you want to have good water pressure in your arms. Oftentimes, when you don't have that adequate water pressure, it's hard for you to be in control of what you're doing with your legs above water. So for in her case, I think working a lot more in elements and in figures on height and getting that adequate water pressure will help show that control and reduce that choppiness in her elements.
So really you don't want to be seeing what the arms are doing by looking at the legs, I guess.
Precisely.
To simplify. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. 72.8860 is her score. That's 11th place. A big improvement on her score from the European Championship. She scored 66.19 there, so I have a feeling I need to look at this afterwards, but maybe she got a 0 on one of the elements, because that's such a big improvement in a few weeks.
It truly is.
Good, great job from her. She does the choreography along with her coach, Iris Lucenius. Now from Japan, the World Youth Champion, Murahiga. The theme is suspense.
Creative leg positions here. Definitely built up that suspense for the first element here. Beautiful positions, excellent height. You can tell that she's very technical in her routines. Beautiful control, excellent flexibility, clear heel height, wonderful. Third element here, good positions, excellent straight line. Gonna have a little bit more uniformity from the vertical into the split position going down, but overall still a strong element for Mo. Wow, look at that very difficult movement coming into the combined spin here. And beautiful height and fluidity throughout the element that'll definitely be reflected into the scores. Strong first element, lost a little bit of the line at the end. Finishing off very powerful with her legs in that figure.
We mentioned that she's World Youth Champion, but of course in the Youth Championships, it's the compulsory figures that we talked about earlier and free solo. But it just shows how technically brilliant she is. I thought that was a superb performance. There was a lot of speed, wasn't there, and high risk in some of those movements.
There really was. In full control of every movement.
And moved right in front of the judges. As soon as she dived in, she was like gone, right straight down in front of the panel. So that's always good as well, isn't it? She was in the team as well at the World Championships, so she has had such a busy year. She's competing as a senior, as a junior, and as youth. And because of COVID, so many competitions have all come at the same time, haven't they? It's just unbelievable how she is still performing to this standard.
It really is. You really need a great team behind you as well. Coaches, physiotherapists, and massage therapists to get you through that as well.
You do. The music is her favourite drama song, so she wanted to be the main character, and she absolutely was. 88.4438. Absolutely no doubt about it. That puts her in first place, ahead of the Italian. Incredible to get scores like that for somebody so young. The element's 35.5 something. Wow.
Incredible. Definitely a strong point for her.
Which shows the importance of doing the compulsory figures.
Exactly.
And now El Salvador, Cecia Castaneda, 16 years of age, so one of the youngest here.
To the first element here. A little bit of lack in height in the split here. You could tell the timing wasn't quite right with the arms. Second element. Strong control. Good speed on the spin and clear heels. Well done. Dropped a little bit of height in the vertical here. Oh wow, you could tell she truly loves that she's swimming to this music here. Going into the combined spin, a little bit of too much of a drop on the first 360, but yet still finished it strong. contagious smile that she has. Fifth element. We may or may not need a technical review on that. Ideally, you want the heels well above the water. Here, they might have just been flush on the water. It might just be enough to get her through, though. Well done.
Wonderful to see these athletes coming up, isn't it, from nations that aren't particularly well known in artistic swimming terms at senior level.
It really is. It's rare that you see countries such as El Salvador on the senior level. So knowing that they already have athletes up and coming in the junior level, we hope to see them continue on to the senior level.
Absolutely, and that's her aim, is to qualify for the Pan Am Games next year in Santiago. So we wish her every success with that. She's been doing the choreography of this routine for about 8 months now. But she's been a soloist for 7 years, so she certainly is experienced in her own country, if not internationally. Maybe we'll see her at the World Championships in Japan next year as well. Who knows?
Quite
That would
possibly.
be great, wouldn't it?
It would be.
So a little bit of a delay, which always gets me into worry mode.
It does. It's when you start to hold your breath, waiting for those results.
Yes, and I'm sure the coaches will too. Has plenty of support from Jenny Bellis and Marina Cifuentes. So the score, 64.7747. And that's 15th place at the moment and successfully through all of the required elements. So big thumbs up, congratulations. So just 3 more to compete in this solo technical final. Remember, no preliminary rounds in this. First day of competition, straight into a final. It's great for us. Not so great for the swimmers.
No, but it does start the competition off on a great foot.
Alice Ponser from Switzerland, 18 years of age. The theme is to dream. Music, someone like you. First year as a soloist.
Nice barracuda spin there. Starting off with a nice difficulty going into the spin. First element, lack of a little bit of line at the last vertical there, falling onto her back. You can see her flexibility in the split position. Coming into the second element here. A little bit wobbly on the down and on the up. But good control on the spin. Coming into the third element here. Good extension. element here for Alice. Combined spin here. Good heels, a little bit of a pause. You can tell her arms are working very hard to get her up, but good height for last vertical. Coming into the fifth element, and well done. Excellent line, clear heel mark, strong finish for Alice in the fifth element.
Yeah, it was really solid there, wasn't she, on that fifth element? And there's a reason why they put it as the last one. So, but she really showed that she has a lot of strength at the end of that performance. Eighth at the European Junior Championships, 77.995 was her score then. On the first movement that she did, she's so flexible, her head came out before the boost. How much would that affect the judges' score? Is it a positive or negative?
In my opinion, it would be a negative, because in the FINA book, the FINA manual that the judges have to look at, there's no head position that bops out of the water, and the underwater submerged position is a position in this element, so you want to make sure that it's well executed.
Perpendicular.
Correct.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, because sometimes you do see that, and it looks impressive because they're so flexible that they can do it. But yes, you're absolutely right. It's actually not in the figure. 78.2829 is her score. So that's higher than she had just a few months ago. So well done to her and her coach, Elodie Hernandez. Elodie has coached Alice for about 8 years, so they are well used to working together. Elodie was originally from France. It's nice to see the bond that you get between coach and swimmer, isn't it? Or coach and athlete.
It really is.
Clara Blair from Germany. She will be portraying feelings. This is new choreography for her.
Strong first element. Didn't necessarily reach the 180 degrees in the split there. Might get a deduction. Clear off angles in the first figure here. Shows some nice intricacy in the arms. Coming into the second element. Nice even drop and good musicality as well. The element. Clear heels. Third element. Overall a strong element for Clara here. However, you do like to see that foot dry, the bottom foot in that flamingo position was a little submerged. Into the combined spin, great height before starting. A little pause, a little bit of hesitation before that last push, but overall quite fluid. Showing those intricate flex positions, something that you don't often see in our sport. Fifth element, a little bit of a nose of the line here.
I thought that was a good performance. She's known to be stronger in free program, more so than technical, and that normally shows in her scores as well. But a big fist pump from the coach. Yeah, she has to drive 130 kilometres each way for training. That's dedication for you, isn't it?
That truly is, and it just goes to show how fortunate we are in some countries to have access to facilities so close to where we live.
Yes, yeah, really lucky, really lucky. Coached by Stella Akhmadova. Her sister actually does artistic swimming as well, and they have an aim to both qualify for the Olympic Games in 2028, so wish them every success with that. So 79.610 was her score at the European Juniors, where she finished a very credible 6th. Will she break through the 80 barrier? Oh, so close.
Yes.
So close. 79.6592. 9th place with one more to compete. Slightly down on the elements, which backs up, I guess, what I was saying about being stronger on free when you don't have any elements.
We'll keep an eye out for her in the free solo this week as well.
So from Great Britain, Robin Swatman, she has had a very long wait. And this is her interpretation of Rising Up Through Adversity. Rise Up by Andra Day.
Starting off strong with the first element. You can see the legs weren't quite together at the end there, and that will definitely be reflected in the execution score of the element here. Robin's very flexible there. She got nice height in the split, clear 180. Good heels. No question about any reviews there in that element. Into the third element here. Robin very clearly showed all the positions in that element, so hopefully she'll get well rewarded for it. Very fluid, good propulsion coming into the combined spin here. A little bit of a slow combined spin, but even speed down and up, and that is what we are looking for. Fifth element, not too bad. Could be a little bit clearer in the heel mark, but that might come through. Strong last off angle spin to finish.
A very expressive, lovely performance there of Rise Up. A beautiful piece of music to interpret. Coach there, Katie Clark. She also works very closely with her coach back home at her club, Walsall, Amy Baker, who will be supporting her from afar, I'm sure. And she's another one that she has to go from her club down to national training. They're trying to sort of get this all be in a centre of excellence at a place called Bristol. You probably don't know it, you might know it. But it's about 2 hours from where her club is. So she manages to combine both, be a junior and a senior, take all of her exams. I mean, she is a very, very busy lady indeed. Finished 7th at the European Junior Championships. 78.801 was her score. Choreography she's been doing for a year, but always adapting it, and you'll know all about that, Jackie. Adapting it till about 14 minutes before they swim. Wow, what an improvement on her score from the European Juniors into the 80s on technical. That's brilliant. 80.1879. She really is moving up through the ranks, and I'm so delighted for her. She works incredibly hard, as all of these competitors do.
Yes, they truly do, but I love seeing that smile come through when she saw that 80 come up there.
It means a lot, doesn't it, to go from a 70 point something up to an 80, or if you're high 80s to go to that 90.
It's really crossing a huge barrier there once you enter into the 80s.
Yes, so we will wait for final confirmation of the scores. But with my workings out, I make it Japan with the gold, Italy the silver, and France the bronze. But we must wait for the final confirmation and the rankings. But thoughts?
I think we started off the competition with a great deal of swimmers that had a high level. You could tell that they were very strong technically, and they truly loved what they were doing here. You could tell that they were passionate about the sport, and that came through on the screen and through the pool.
And of course, this is probably the last time that they will swim a solo technical like this, so they had to do the required elements in a certain order, and the changes that are coming next year, they can choose the order of the required elements. Do say if I have anything wrong, they can choose the order of the required elements, and there will be an assigned degree difficulty before they swim, which will take the sport, I think, to another level. What are your thoughts on that?
It definitely will. It will add a lot of suspense to the sport, similar to gymnastics or figure skating, where it'll add a lot of variability in the results. You could actually add a lot of strategy in it as well, placing the elements in different parts of the routine, adding a high degree of difficulty to your routine can definitely change things up in our sport.
I totally agree. It's going to be a big change for the coaches though, isn't it, from a choreography point of view?
It definitely will be.
So the final result, it's been confirmed. Mohiga from Japan taking the gold, Susanna Pedotti from Italy the silver, and Oriane Jalardon, she swam first, but she still takes the bronze. Very, very close to 4th, just 0.39 the difference there between a podium place and just off it, so disappointment for Spain. But some exceptional performances from every single one of these athletes, and very much looking forward to seeing the ones that swim in the solo free later this week. And of course, next we have the solo technical for men coming up, which is the first time it's been included in this World Junior Championships.
It is, yes.
So making history.
It is, and it's always great when you see a first one out there. Making history, first one in the pool.
It is, it is. So that's going to be in approximately 1 hour's time. So